Information is power, but bad information is bad information. So if you can get a good school psychologist and on a day that he's going to listen to you about what time of day to work with your kiddo, and your kiddo has his glasses and your kiddo's in a good mood and they're motivating them and they pick the right test, there's no score to be afraid of. It shouldn't scare you. You want to know. Okay. But if you have someone that isn't going to listen to you about what your child's strengths and weaknesses are, they're not going to adjust the test itself or the time of day to what your youngster needs. They're not going to, actually work with your kiddo to get him motivated. Because, autism and emotional disturbance, sometimes those kids, you can't just walk in a room, go pick them up out of class, a complete stranger, walk in a room and sit down and start testing them. They're not gonna do their best. They need to get warmed up, So if you don't have confidence in the psychologist, then you may want to be careful about what numbers end up on your record, right? But if you can talk to the person and you can explain to them and you have confidence that they're really gonna do a good job, you don't have anything to be afraid of. And sometimes we are not going to shy away from an intellectual disability diagnosis. If your child actually has an intellectual disability, you need to know that. It does garner you some benefits, particularly after they leave school, okay? So when they're out of the K-12 system and they have an ID finding that's current on their record, that may entitle you to certain kinds of health benefits and supports in the community. If you haven't had an IQ since you were 7 because you've been not wanting to put your child through it, or the school talked you out of it to make it easier on them, and then you're 22 years old and you can't get anything because all your testing is old, and now you have to go through it all again, or you have to pay for it, that's gonna be problematic for you. So I think if your kiddo does have, especially if you're in California, right? You want regional center. And especially if you're in California, if you think your child actually has intellectual disability, or he might be defined that way, if you do it after they're 18, it is absolutely a monumental task, okay? So if you think you might ever go that way, get those scores on paper before they're 18 and get that eligibility, because once they turn 18, getting them eligibility at a regional center is really hard.